Hey Waldwick. Today we're going to look at Construct 2, very similar to Construct 3, but it's a light app and game making platform. So let's start by checking out our screen. When you open up Construct 2, you're going to have this splash screen which kind of lays out everything. And we're going to skip this because the first thing we need to do is get into our layout that we want. So I click File, New, and it's going to give me a lot of options. Template or example. So if you look at the titles, new empty project, new retro style, standard definition portrait, landscape. So you're choosing the size of your game, and it's basically going to be the size of the screen that is being previewed in the actual game itself. Now, what I'm going to have you do is open an empty project, and here you have all of your dashboard showing. So if you hold Control and zoom out, it's going to show you your full space. This gray dotted line is the preview of what the user would see. And I want to lay out the different parts of the software. So if you go to the left, the Properties menu is where you're going to see any editable properties for your characters, for the scene, for the layout. It's going to be all of your settings that you're going to be changing in order to get the desired result. Here you're going to have your view of either event sheets or layouts. Layouts you can think of as your levels or your screens that you want the player to see. Now, if we go up here, we have the tabs. So every layout comes with an event sheet. And event sheets are basically directions for what should be happening as the user's playing the game. We'll get into that later. Now, in the Projects tab, this is where it's going to lay out all of your files, all of your sounds, all of your pictures, all of your levels, all of your event sheets. Everything is going to be located in that corner. So here it has Event Sheet 1 and Layout 1. That's where I can always find it to, if I close out of my stuff, I can just say Layout 1, Event Sheet 1, and they will open up again. And you can even rename your stuff. Level 1, Event Sheet 1. Now, looking right here, we got projects and layers. So eventually we're going to get to the point where we're adding different layers to our scene. Something for our background, something for our foreground, where the player is playing, and then also like a heads-up display if you want to give your player information about the game that they're playing. That's where the layers come into play. And it's basically like if you had multiple sheets of paper. The background layer is going to be all the way in the back, and it's going to be covered by things in more forward ground. Lastly, we have objects, and I'll show you that in a minute. There's really only one last thing, and that's saving your files. So when you're making these projects, especially in our classroom, you want to make sure that you save it to your network drive. So the way you do that, press File. It's going to open up your file menu, and it's going to be save as single file. That will save it as a CapX file, it's called, and it would make it easy for you to click and drag it into Google Drive or share it somewhere else. I will say, a project file is not playable. So if you were to put that on a website, you would not be able to play your game or use your app. You would have to export a project, but we'll get in that later. For now, save a single file with your name, first and last, and you're done for this video.